It's week 9 of the National Football League, and we've got the Dolphins, Burner at wide receiver. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Dolphins and the Bills, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
We are just about 4 miles off the shore of Lake Erie at Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in riding high, just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. And leading them out is their 5th-year quarterback.
The secret to his game and his success, incredible chemistry with each and every one of the guys who catches passes with him. And not only does he ask them to stay after practice or meet it before practice, he actually demands it because he knows if they have that kind of chemistry built up, they're going to be hard to beat each and every ball game.
Throwing to start the drive. Johnson. The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Johnson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. This defense for the Dolphins, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you...
All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll run here with Moss. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Dolphins have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new... techniques, trying to add to his arsenal. Moves certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Operating from the gun. Johnson. Wide open receiver complete. A big play here for Buffalo. 42 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, if only they were all this easy, because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground, as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Throwing to start the drive. Sampson, he's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play. Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
He's piloted 2 drives so far, and unfortunately not very well piloted. Both led to interceptions. Now they're facing the deficit. Another touchdown after that previous pick. Starting over here, 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
Oh, and the throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete. You talk about this Miami defense.
They really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7.
7.
I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Now Johnson to throw on 3rd down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down.
And the defense closes quickly there. They'll get maybe a yard to the 33. You and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a 1-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff running through the middle. He stiff arms him. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Now he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did, that time for a loss.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane.
And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Back to throw. Sampson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a 1st down.
Here's a give up the middle. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. And this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. excellent job stopping him there on first down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. Achan will score. Touchdown, Miami. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a first or a second seed come playoff time.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here's Johnson to throw on second down. And he floated one out there, incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Johnson, and that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 21-0 our score after 1. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Off the play fake. Sampson, he'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Dolphins are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
They have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Operating from the gun, Johnson, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works, and that incompletion set up another passing down here.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
And they come into this one riding that nice long win streak. And remember, next weekend is an open week for them. So if they can get the win here, a lot of momentum into that time off.
It certainly is, and if you're wondering if anybody's saying, boy, this is coming at a bad time, we want to keep playing, the answer can be yes, because when teams are on a hot streak, they want to keep going. But what the veterans are telling the young guys in the locker room, an open week is always good, guys. Take it, and let's go with it.
On 2nd down, a run by Achane. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. This now a 3rd and 4.
And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Sampson looking long for Thomas. And this is caught. Touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season.
And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. So this now 34-0 with the extra point pending. And Charles, I thought these guys might have the advantage coming in, but I didn't expect this.
Well, I'm glad we're going with full transparency here because I didn't either. I thought we might be looking at a 24-20 type game, maybe 13-10 at the half. But this has been total, utter domination.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
On second down now, Winslow. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on third down, Johnson. The Dolphins get there this time and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Miami set to take over. They're sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
To throw on second down, Sampson. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Dolphins have taken a 6-touchdown lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that?
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again. Sampson.
They'll run the screen with Moss.
And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Bison, 60 Bison. Take over.
first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. They'll go up the middle here with Moss. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6. Now they try the right side here. It's going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 3rd down, Sampson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Mike McDaniel dialing up the risk here a little bit on 4th down. They're going to go for it. They'll go. Achane. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the Bills' 2-yard line.
They'll try. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
Looks like he's going to be... first down by about a yard. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives?
Into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown.
Devon Achane
With his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
and the Dolphins will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. The Bills going to take over now late in this first half.
And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Throwing to start the drive. Sampson, he sets to fire deep.
That is incomplete. There defensively. Open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Looking long for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
To throw on third down, Sampson. And that'll complete.
Be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They're going to try and throw. A desperation heave for the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there as the first half is winding down.
And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
Let's go now.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Texans who are out in front. C.J. Stroud, responsible for the lone touchdown in the game thus far as he's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they trail the visiting Lions in that one. Jamison Williams, a touchdown reception. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Raiders. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Balled it to 26, 2nd and 7.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 51 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. On first down, Sampson. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great play there. 64 yards.
And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Johnson now looking to throw on second down.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Johnson throwing on 3rd and long. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Take it at the 37. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And that will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Back to throw. Sampson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a third down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 23, here's 2nd and 2. Moss on the give up the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On first down, they'll go to... And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's... He could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
Partner, I like the play call coming right after a tackle for a loss because this is an obvious passing situation, but instead they fooled him a little bit with the screen, and they wound up getting back what they lost and then a little bit more.
And he's brought down.
68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Dolphins just continue to roll. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
They'll run on first down. Winslow, and good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. Winslow, and he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
Looking to throw. Johnson. He will find Winslow on the left side, complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Up the middle they go. Winslow. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. Back now in Buffalo. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing on third and long. Johnson. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he missed it. It's no good. And they will remain well behind. A tough day for this offense continues. One of their best chances to get on the scoreboard there, couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's not looking like it's going to happen for them today, does it? I mean, opportunity after opportunity, play after play has gone against them the entire game. They probably feel a little bit like Schlep Rock, got that black cloud over their heads.
Throwing to start the drive. Sampson. Bad throw there. It's intercept.
Jair Elam makes a pick.
And he'll take it across. Down to the 48-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
Sideline. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
19 tight.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Sampson, he'll air it out deep for Thomas. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown. A big play there. 65 yards.
And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Bills getting set to go.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now a 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Johnson. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 6.
4-yard gain brings up 2nd and goal.
Here we go, shot. 70 Timberwolves. Hey, check that.
Moss. Just short of the goal.
Chalk. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
They'll run it. H.M. with it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami.
Devon H.M.
with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 15 on the year.
And the Dolphins are on their way to a 9-0 start as they build on to their lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
We've talked about it. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses. In all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
Looking long for Thomas. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. 91 yards. And the Dolphins are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bills ready to take over. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take.
And my goodness, another interception. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. And when you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
47 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. The carry there at goal.
Brandon, we always score one.
You want two?
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Here we go. Here we go. Check, Panther.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Out of the gun now on third down. And now another one thrown incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
Way in. They partner because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On third down, Sampson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Up huge on the scoreboard, and they're still trying to add to their total. That shot doesn't connect, but I don't think it'll dissuade them from attempting another one.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Back to throw. Sampson. He's going to try and go deep again. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Point after try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now third down and very long.
One final shot. They'll look to throw.
And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. But I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for Miami, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bills, it's just their second loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.